Hey everyone, welcome back to 996. The Howl Utah Hockey Club loses their first game ever in history to the New Jersey Devils in a Monday afternoon game. An odd one. It's holidays in America and Canada, so they do an early start for the game. For a West Coast team playing so early on the East Coast, not only are you in a different time zone, now you're playing earlier in the day. Bit unfair for the West Coast team in Utah, but let's get into it. We're not going to just blame that the early start time caused a downfall for Utah. Vamelka gained his first start of the season in for Ingram. Didn't really think that changing the goalies mattered in this game. There was a lot of other aspects of the game where Utah, fell on their own sword in this defeat. Also, O'Brien back in the lineup in for Carcone. Earlier in the game, the two greatest chances for Utah were in the beginning of this game. It was a Gunther to Cooley play. Cooley sort of dances around the New Jersey defense and manages to get the puck in the crease, and Allen almost puts the puck in his own net. Then there was a Josh Doan to Kerfoot play. Doan had the puck behind the net, throws it out front, point blank for Alex Kerfoot, but he's denied by Allen as well. They get to an early penalty, but they kill it off, and Utah gets on their own power play, and they fail at converting on their own power play. It felt like both teams were kind of playing even. They both seemed sluggish, sort of getting the cobwebs out of their game. Both teams looked really slow considering how young and fast and skilled both these teams are. Late in the first period, there was a 2-on-1 with Keller and Schmaltz, but they couldn't connect the pass to get a shot on net. And the period sort of ends on a quiet note. Shots were 6-5 Utah. It was a pretty even first period. Like I said, both teams really just sleepwalking through that period. And unfortunately, only one team was able to elevate their game for the rest of the game, and the other team stayed in that sleepwalking state for the rest of the game. It seemed like Utah had a very late power play in that first period, but they get called for a penalty. It goes on a 4-on-4. It's a carryover penalty. And in that early second period, New Jersey gets on the power play with like 10 seconds due to the 4-on-4 expiring, and they score with those 10 seconds. On the play, Jersey sort of gets injured, goes off for a line change. Cooley has possession of the puck in his own end, but can't clear the puck out. And Jersey has a lot of time and space to pretty much pick a snipe shot to go up 1-0. Like I said, Jersey injured himself on the play, and he didn't return for the rest of the game, which was another hit to Utah playing with only 5 defense. So early in the season, you're trying to just get used to your defensive partner. Now you're just rotating 5 D-man, and neither of them have really played with each other, only their one pair mate. So that was kind of rough for Utah as well. They go on another penalty kill after going down 1-0. Thankfully, they kill it off, but it seemed like New Jersey really picked up the pace and unlocked the gear, whereas Utah was still in that sleepwalking, sluggish state. New Jersey goes up 2-0 shortly after Utah clearing off that penalty. Shots were 10-2 for the Devils sort of midway through the second period. Like I said, it was very evident that New Jersey came out to play in the second period, but they're only down 2-0, so Utah goes on the power play. Again, another failed power play. They really needed that power play to succeed there. It could have really righted the ship and shifted the momentum for the game, but unfortunately the power play couldn't make it happen. They kill off another penalty. That's 3 penalties in this second period. And near the end of the second period, the third line finally gets a really good shift, but couldn't get a shot on net. And in fact, they even take a penalty, even though most of their shift was in the New Jersey end. Utah didn't have any shots in the last 12 minutes of that second period. That's how dire it was. And that penalty taken by the third line was another carryover penalty into the third period. In the second, they're outshot 16-5 in favor of New Jersey. But, they kill off that penalty, that carryover penalty starting the third period. And again, they go on a power play after killing a penalty. And again, the power play fails them. There's little moments in this game where they really could have used a power play goal just to shift the tide of the game and not let it always be in New Jersey's favor. They went 0 for 4, if you couldn't tell already. Utah did on the power play, really let them down considering they had one of the best power plays so early in the season. Gunther's leading the league in goals with 5. He's their power play one-timing specialist. They're scoring almost 5 goals per game. Just that power play couldn't make it happen, and they were shut out. Also their first loss, also their first shutout against in Utah franchise history. But early in the third period, they take another penalty after that failed power play, and New Jersey makes it 3-0. Not to say that their penalty kill made them lose this game. They went 5 for 7, which isn't good, but isn't terrible. It's just the fact that they took 7 penalties. They were really undisciplined. It got Utah away from driving offense. And when you go on so many penalties, like 7 penalties, that's 14 minutes of game time where you could be playing offensively and not just defending for a full 2 minutes. You could generate offense, build on good shift after good shift. It seemed like Utah didn't have consecutive good shifts at all through 60 minutes of this game. I only noticed like the first couple of shifts in the game, that third line shift late in the second, and then once they pulled Vejmelka with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third, they kind of controlled the play, got most of their great chances and looks once Vejmelka was pulled, and they finally were able to play offense. But it gets stopped because Josh Stone takes a penalty like a minute left in the game, and Utah loses 3-0. For me, the only thing I'm really focusing on is that they started the season 3-0. They build themselves a cushion and then some insurance. Don't let this game turn into a 2-game losing streak, a 3, 4, 5-game losing streak. It was a bad game. It's an early game. Just fix your discipline. Don't take too many penalties. Work on the power play. Hopefully Jersey isn't injured and you get back at it with an easier opponent Wednesday night in Anaheim for Anaheim's home opener. So just right the ship, get back to work. It's not all dire. Teams will lose. The fact that, New Jersey's going to be a way better team this year than last year. It was only 3-0. If your power play came through, this could have been a closer game. But I really give them a benefit of the doubt with that huge win against the Rangers. I really do think that win against the Rangers made this loss a little bit easier to digest. They're outshot 33-20 for this game. Yes, 20 shots in 60 minutes. That's really bad. 0 for 4 on the power play, 5 for 7 on the PK. That 7 number is way too high. And 57% on the faceoffs, not too bad. Something to build on there. So like I said, they face Anaheim Wednesday, and that's the next game for Utah. So thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.